I'm forever gonna remain loyal to that dude, because like maybe it would have happened later, but none of this would be happening right now the way that it is if it wasn't for Tony just like taking a chance on me. If you get 1 million streams, that's $8,000. Like, that's, in the grand scheme of things, not a lot of money.
Hello, my fellow Martians. My name is Harry Mars, and this is the On Mars Pod, where we take a deep dive into creative professionals, entrepreneurs, and other inspiring Martians alike.
Once I sold my first beat, I was like, oh, this is a possibility. When I saw that, I was like, holy shit, I'm so glad I waited to drop this fucking track. 100 people there, and the way that they like accepted me was fucking awesome. And yeah, that moment, you know, to answer your question, it was wild. It was crazy.
Hello, my fellow Martians. Today on Mars, we got artist, producer, musician. We got Sage X Price in the building. Thank you so much for being here, brother.
Bro, thank you for having me.
Hell
yes. For having me. Been looking forward to this.
So it's a long time coming.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. At least it's about 7 months since we probably followed each other. Maybe longer.
Yeah,
so,
man.
Yeah,
and actually, I don't know if Sage remembers this, but I actually met Sage at one of Tony's first shows out here. Opening for Michael Manelli.
Oh shit!
So we met in the green room.
Oh, dude! I legitimately. Oh fuck!
That's crazy. So I was there taking pics for Manelli.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
dude,
crazy full circle.
I was so.
Because that was at a pretty crazy time for you, because that was when, if I'm not mistaken, that was when your music was coming out.
That was like, yeah, literally like
October 2023.
Literally, yeah. That was like, it was a wild time. I was hella nervous, and I didn't have any weed. So I was just like, fuck. So dude, yeah, I was so scatterbrained that night, but fuck. That's crazy. Yeah, no, I do remember that. Yeah. I like how you waited to bring that up. That's smart. Yeah, no, that was October when we were on the road. That was when Guilt had dropped. Mm-hmm. And that was a very like, I don't regret anything at all, but like being on the road and like not having service and like trying to post while like you're like driving through the middle of nowhere.
So important.
It was tough. It was tough for sure. But the timing of it tested me for sure. But the timing of it was awesome, because like I was sitting right next to Tony the whole time, so he was like guiding me on like, cool, try to do this, and then also just being able to like go to the shows and be like, hey, I have music out. Yeah, I think that was like the first like boost that I had, and like kind of helped me with like just gaining actual real life like supporters, and not just like having internet stuff, which is important. So yeah, that's like, yeah, you did your research. That is the same month. I remember being in the car and being like, fuck, my manager's gonna kill me if I don't post this right now. That's fucking crazy. But yeah, that is the time that happened.
Yeah, man. So you've had obviously a crazy life in music, and it started very early on. Mm-hmm. And people that know you know that it goes deep. You know, your parents are both musicians, and your dad's an artist in his own right, and your dad is your manager. Yes. Still, is that right?
Yeah. Wow,
so that's
fucking research.
Hey man,
you did the research, man. Yeah, no, you're totally 1,000% right. No fucking remarks there at all.
Which is cool. But I do want to talk about those early days, because it's not like most people, you know what I mean? Mm. Because you grew up in studios. You know, your dad was taking you to these places where he was recording with legendary artists now, and I just kind of want to talk about like what influences were you around other than rap? Was he listening to, you know, different genres in the house? Was your mom listening to? I know she's a singer.
Yeah. No, my dad has always had a very, very diverse music taste, for sure. I think my mom and my dad, you know, I think they really did connect on the type of music that they liked, because like my dad, you know, at that time was like really only rapping, but like he knew about Coldplay before they got big type shit. So like diverse music has always been a part of my life. And then with my parents, with my dad being a musician still, and my mom being a musician at the time, there was a lot of different music in the house. So like I always, like growing up, whenever songs were like big, or like whenever people would come to school like talking about music, I'd be like, but what about The Fray? Like I remember like The Fray was like my first like song or band, excuse me, that I like really liked. So music was always just in the house, and it was always a lot of different music, like hip hop, R&B, soul music, fucking folk music, like everything. So yeah, it was always. And I think it reflects on like my music taste now, because I listen to like everything from like real hardcore trap shit to like King Cruel. So like that was a very much a part of me. And yeah, they never were like, we only listen to this type of shit. It just was always new stuff going on.
So were you able to kind of select what you were able to listen to, pretty much because they were so open to everything? You weren't capped on like, well, you can't listen to this. And like, they weren't like saying you can't listen to explicit records and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah, no.
So you know what I mean? So you were being able to be exposed to whatever you wanted to.
Totally, yeah. Because like my dad was making music where he was cursing in it. So it was like, they weren't gonna sit there and be like, well, you can't listen to this. It was just understood, like, don't repeat some of the shit that these people are saying, you know what I mean? But like it was very much like, hey dude, just kind of listen to whatever you want. Like my mom and my dad, like when I found Linkin Park at like a hella young age, they were like, fuck yeah. And then my fucking next thing you know, I had the Jay-Z Linkin Park like box set on CD, banging that shit constant. So yeah, there was never any like, don't listen to this. It was always just, hey man, like listen to whatever you want.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? It was very, very like open.
Today's episode is sponsored by Lantern Coffee, based out of my hometown, Grand Rapids, Michigan. If you're still sipping on that gas station coffee, this is your sign to get your life together. Lantern does coffee the right way. Whole beans, small batch, straight from the source. I personally get 2 bags a month myself. It's what fuels us here every day on Mars. If you want to taste what I'm talking about, go to lanterncoffee.com, use promo code ONMARS for 20% off of your first order. That's lanterncoffee.com. Use promo code ONMARS, 20% off your first order. Treat yourself, because friends don't let friends drink bad coffee. Let's get back to the show. Yeah, man, that's cool. So then into high school, then it was like kind of early that you were getting introduced to like kind of making records. Yeah, but you were playing guitar before that.
Yeah,
so it was like, what were you, like 10 years old or something?
Just about. Yeah. I started guitar in fucking, I think like 5th or 6th grade.
Okay, so I think that's like 10 to 12.
10, just around
10 to 12 years old, which is super young.
It was.
So, were you serious about it, or were you just taking it just
dude, there was this fucking Mr. Kai, fucking tritone music. They used to like go and teach at different schools in Fullerton, which is where I'm from, and they would pretty much do this thing where they would have like a student that they were teaching, and they'd bring them in, and they'd be like in the middle of class, and they'd be like, hey, we just wanted to like play a song for y'all. If y'all mess with this, you should tell your parents to like sign you up for guitar class. And my homie Jake Popoff, which he's definitely probably gonna watch this. Shout out to Jake.
Shout out to Jake.
I remember this very vividly. He came in with Mr. Kai and played Green Day's Boulevard of Broken Dreams, I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
And then I was like, oh, I'm gonna do that. So like even as a kid, and once I learned how to play guitar, like I already had a musical background just from growing up, and my mom was always singing around me, so I was always just singing around her. But guitar was the first thing that I made like the effort, and I sucked at it at first. Bad,
everyone.
Bro. No. It was like I was horrible, like really, really bad. And then we had a Christmas show that we had to get ready for, and fucking Hanukkah by Adam Sandler. For some reason, that song was the song where like my fingers figured it out. like everything clicked, and I was like, okay, I know how to play guitar. And then from there on, I just sat in my room for hours. And
that's the song.
That is the song.
That's
yeah. So shouts out Adam Sandler as well. But yeah, the guitar was like that was the first thing that like me as like my own person was like, okay, I'm going to step into this musically rather than like my parents just showing me shit.
Hey Martians, real quick. I appreciate you taking the time to listen or watch wherever you are in the world. Over the last few months, the Martian family has grown so much. I could not be more thankful for all of my guests and every single one of you who continue to tune in every single week. Subscribers, ratings, likes, and comments all help us grow here on Mars. And it would mean the world. If you haven't already, please go to onmarspod.com/subscribe to subscribe on YouTube. Like and leave a comment, rate us on Spotify. All this good stuff helps keep the engine running to inspire Martians all over the world. P.S. Follow us on Instagram @onmarspod. Okay, let's get back to it. I mean, on that note, because your parents are both musicians and artists in their own right, did you ever feel pressure to be an artist, to be accepted, or was it always something that you always genuinely loved?
It was just something that I loved. Like, they're outside of my mom's side of the family, my dad's side of the fam are all artists in their own right. My grandpa's an architect.
Ooh, that's awesome.
He's creating shit in his head constantly.
Physical art.
Physical art. My uncle's a sculptor. My aunt's she's singer in the LA Philharmonic, or was for like a long time.
Dang. Flex.
Yeah, she was, dude, as I got older, I was like, she's sick. When I was younger, I didn't really get it as much. I would go to the shows and I'd be like, this is boring. But like, I got older and I was like, holy shit, vocally, she's actually insane.
They don't let anybody in there. Just, yeah.
No. Yeah. So like, there was always artists around me, and none of them, there was always just like a freedom, you know what I mean? None of them, as whatever issues I've had with my family, there was never an issue about like pursuing what I wanted. And there was also never an issue of like, well, you got to be as good as your uncle is or whatever the fuck.
Right.
So no. And then with my dad and my mom, they just always were like, hey, whatever you love, we're just going to like try and help you pursue that. And then by the time that I got older, my mom kind of fell out of music just because she needed to be a mom. And so, on her end, and maybe this is wrong for me to say this, but I feel like she's almost kind of vicariously like living through what I'm doing. And so because of that, there's just always been a push. There was never like you got to be as good as this person. Everybody was just like, yo, do your thing. Yeah. And that's like kind of one of the biggest things I hear with people with their families pursuing any form of like art, or like maybe a quote unquote unrealistic job in their eyes. And I've had ups and downs with my family, but they've never ever questioned like pursuing what I'm doing. So
yeah.
And there was never, like, to answer your question fully, there was never a comparison or there was never the pressure of like, well, everybody else is an artist, you got to do, you know what I mean? So
there's no pressure.
Nah. It was very, very easy.
Yeah. And because you actually genuinely loved it and wanted to do it.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Totally.
So, because it'd be different if your dad was pushing it on you the same way that like an athlete pushes it on their kid.
Part. Yeah. No, you're right.
I think that would be somewhat, I don't know, toxic to a kid sometimes if they don't want to be an artist.
Real shit. Yeah.
But the fact that you want to be an artist, and the fact that your dad was an artist and your mom was a singer, and they were both supportive, like, that's a win-win-win all around.
Win-win-win.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
Like, he's stoked.
Yeah.
Like,
no, they're all stoked.
Yeah.
And like,
I'm sure that's like,
it was a win.
Like
and to your point, like I have a homegirl who like was forced to play piano. She fucking hates music now. It's like, there was never a like, stay your, even when I wanted to stop being in guitar lessons, they weren't like, stay your ass in guitar. It was like, all right, man, what's the next step? You know what I mean?
For sure. And they're able to like, I don't know, just get behind whatever you want to do in music, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Even if it's just like, because there was times where you weren't even necessarily just an artist, like you were producing, and you moved out at like super, super young age. And man, I mean, to be honest, I feel like that is one of the things that I do want to talk about. I mean, you started selling beats at like 15, I think it was.
I sold my first beat.
At 15 years old?
Yeah, at like 15. Granted, like, it was through like help through my dad, but it wasn't a thing where it was like, you gotta buy my son's beat. It was my dad has always been like, when he has helped, it's always been like, hey bro, either the shit's good or it's not.
Right. He just presents it to someone, and if they like it.
At that time, that's how that happened. It just was like, hey, you know, here's a beat if you fuck with it. And once I sold my first beat, I was like, oh, this is a possibility. So yeah, it was just the start of like everything.
So that was kind of what I wanted to talk about, because that really opened your eyes to knowing that this could be a potential lane for you to make it a business at a super young age.
Yeah, for sure. Sure. Like watching my dad do what he did, and even outside of my dad, like I've always just been a nerd for music. So like anybody who I listen to, I'm gonna do fucking deep dives on and all this other shit.
Yeah.
And so like
discographies,
like publishing deal, like I go deep.
Oh,
so
wow.
like I saw so many other examples in front of me that I was like, okay. And then when it happened to me on my first beat that I ever made, I was like, oh shit, this is like a sign. Because I don't think I've talked to anyone that ever sold like their first beat. And granted, that shit is, I'll probably listen to it right now and be like, this shit sucks. But yeah, that was like the thing that really like turned me on to like the business part of it and being like, okay, this is actually a possibility. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And I mean, the fact that you were able to be exposed to it early on definitely plays into your confidence level.
Yeah.
Because you're able to like see that it's already been an option for other people in your family, that you're like, oh, I mean, music is a career path.
Yeah. Art in general.
Art in general was already a career path versus like people that grow up in families with like the physical, you know, construction people and all those types, office types or whatever.
I'm forever grateful for like the background that I have.
Wild. I mean, you were supposed to be the person that you are.
And I'm thankful for that, because that's how it felt for me as a kid. Even as a child, if you look at like the books where they'd ask you like, what do you want to be in 5 years? Like I'd never put astronaut or anything. Like it was always music. Yeah. And so I'm very grateful that like, to the point that you made about like being the person that I was supposed to be, I'm very grateful that like I was in an environment that allowed me to be the person that like I saw myself out to be. Totally. And the older I get, I just become more and more appreciative of it, like for real. And the more I talk to other people who have different backgrounds, I'm just like, oh wow, this is a rare fucking thing.
For sure.
For real.
Yeah, man. It's nice to be able to look back on it, and at the time it was just normal for you in a way.
Yeah. Because you only know what you know. And then you meet other people, and like even my other music friends, people like you, Daniel, like all these other people. Not everyone's background was like as supportive, and you know, honestly, like 99% of the time it isn't.
Right.
Which just makes me more and more, you know, grateful and aware of like the privilege that I had. Honestly speaking, it's a privilege. So like, I'm stoked on it, forever grateful for it, and I'll forever like be appreciative to the people who like walked so I could run in
Absolutely,
my family,
man.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And you did grow up in Orange County in California. So at one point,
not the fucking housewives part. Not every part of Orange County. A lot of people get that shit twisted. Not every part of Orange County is the housewives part. There is some crazy shit that be happening in Orange County. You just got to go to the right areas, and there's like some wild shit that be happening.
Damn,
but yeah, Orange County.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Dude, dude. Like there's just my area is one of those places where there just be some shit happening, and like
gotta watch it back.
Yeah, for sure. And even Disneyland, like back in like the 80s and shit, you would get like robbed walking out of Disneyland, because Anaheim, you go outside of Disneyland, Anaheim is a primarily lower income place. And so like even Knott's Berry Farm, like you can get banged. For people who know who are from California, there's a Vince Staples clip from Hot Ones where he talks about Knott's Berry Farm, and he's like, yeah, you go and get banged on. 1,000% real. It's like
crazy.
Hardcore cholos on roller coasters. It blows my mind. It's amazing. It's awesome as fuck.
Enjoying themselves.
Just enjoying themselves. But like, trust me, if a problem starts, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck is up?" I've seen it happen.
They got people actually right outside.
Just posted up, ready. As soon as you get off of Montezuma's Revenge, they're just waiting. Fucking Ghost Rider. Yeah. But yes, I am from Orange County, California.
Yeah, man. So at one point though, 16 years old, you move out. you go to Texas.
Yeah.
And you primarily move out to pursue music. Is that correct?
Yeah. Stuff in Fullerton was getting pretty wild. I was around like the not the best group of people. No disrespect to nobody. Just everybody was just doing some crazy shit. I always knew that like I didn't do things that I was proud of. Definitely did a lot of shit that I regret. Should not have been running with those people for sure. But it came down to a point where it was like, hey, I either stay here and like there's a strong possibility that like some crazy shit happens, which it did when I left. Or I had just reconnected with my dad at the time. We had like had a little period where we weren't talking. And I was like, I can either go to Texas and like learn how to pursue music, get out of this area. My mom and I were going through like some crazy shit. So I was like outside of the house 99% of the time. And yeah, my girlfriend at the time, we had a very real combo and she was like, you gotta go. And so I dipped the fuck out to Austin and like for a year and a half, just from like 15 to 16, just grinded like every day, just learning how to make music, learning how to produce. That was like I didn't have any friends in Austin. So it was like the only focus that I had.
What were you doing other than music? Did you like have a job?
I left high school. So I just dipped. I'd kind of straight up just left. Like I had known, and I told my mom this when I was in middle school, but I was like, yo, I'm not going to be able to finish high school. Like middle school, I literally failed. The only reason why they pushed me through is because they couldn't like have a dropout they couldn't hold you back in middle school, at least in California. School got really fucking hard really fast. My brain just didn't work like that. Like I just could not do it. And so come, middle of like freshman year, I'm failing everything. Beginning of sophomore year, I'm ditching every day. And then I just remember, I was just like, dude, I'm going to leave. Yeah. And I left. So like, yeah, there wasn't anything tying me down to California besides like the stupid shit that I was doing.
Yeah.
And I knew at that time period, I was like, this is going to get dangerous. Like really, we'd already had some run-ins where shit got way too real, way too fast.
Damn.
So I was like, okay, I have to go. And so, yeah, music was the only thing I focused on. I didn't have anything else to fucking worry about or focus on. I was out in the middle of a place I'd never been.
What was your support system out there in Texas?
My dad and my stepmom.
So your dad was living out. Does he still live out in Texas?
Yeah, we go back and forth a lot. Okay. But yeah, my dad and my stepmom at the time, like there was a lot of me and my dad had like reconnected after not talking for a bit. So it was definitely like a change and stuff. And my dad, as I got older, he was dealing with like some health stuff and just a lot of different things that were going on. So it was, tensions were high at times. Like it wasn't anything crazy, but like it definitely was. Music kind of saved me during that time period because it allowed me to like be in a room where I could just spend hours 8 p.m. till 5 a.m. and just not like worry about anything.
Yeah.
Just lock in.
And just put the hours in, as they say.
Yeah. And it went by like that. Like I very vividly remember just sitting in front of my computer and literally looking up and being like, oh shit, the sun's coming up. So like I really lost myself in music production specifically at that time.
Right. Because at this point you weren't necessarily like pursuing being an artist yet.
No.
You didn't have like the confidence to be like an artist.
It wasn't even on my mind.
Yeah.
It was just like I had done like as a kid, my dad, like I did like hooks and stuff, like minimal shit. It just was like kind of pushing me to like kind of try some shit out. But like the times that I tried to write, I couldn't. And my brain just didn't work like that yet. But I knew I wanted to do music and I knew that I could make beats. Even before I started making beats, I was like, I can do this shit. I just don't know why I think I can. So
then there was like a moment in time where you got sent a song from your dad to do a chorus that kind of like triggered like a whole new thing. That wasn't until after you had like moved back to LA and all that and like lived with those artists and all that stuff.
Yeah, that was like years later.
Okay, that's what I thought. So like shortly after you lived in Austin for the first time, or not Austin, but where was it?
Austin.
No, was it Austin?
Yeah,
okay.
Austin.
So when you moved back to Austin with your dad, or or just to Austin, I guess, for the first time. After you were living there, you moved back to Cali for a second, right around like COVID times, right? Is that
no? It was.
Or was it before that?
It was before. Yeah. So like,
what was the timeline on that?
So I had come out to Austin when I was 15.
Okay.
Year and a half went by. I'm like 16. Learned how to make music. I was like kind of visiting California back and forth. This is actually like a crazy fucking time period, and I haven't really talked about it much because I've never had the space to, because there's so much going on.
Right.
But I moved out there, started visiting California more. I had visited California in like 2017 or 2016, and it was Memorial Day of whatever of those 2 years. And I got hit with like just crazy anxiety and depression, and I had never dealt with it before. I was like a very, very, well, actually that's not a lie, or that is a lie, excuse me. As a kid, I had shown a lot of signs of it, but like growing up, there wasn't, even in the difference between like 20 years and now, there was not nearly as much like understanding of what those things were,
right?
Or nor was there like the language for it.
Absolutely.
So like I had like panic attacks as a kid, and like I definitely showed anxiety as a kid, but my mom was just like, just being a kid. My dad was like, just being a kid, whatever. So come around that time that I was talking about earlier, Memorial Day, I woke up, started dealing with like insane amounts of anxiety and depression, like panic attacks at least 3 times a day, was waking up in panic attacks, going to sleep in panic attacks. It was fucked up.
Damn.
And so I came to Cali visiting, started dealing with that heavy. I was just freaking the fuck out. So I went, after probably visiting Cali for like 6 months and kind of staying like 3 months, come back for a couple of weeks, stay another 3 months. It might have been a bit longer than that. I go back up to Texas because I'm like, holy shit, I got to like fix my head.
Yeah.
Like did therapy, did a bunch of this shit. This is the second time in Texas.
Yeah, but shortly after, though.
Shortly after, so, yeah. Not too long after. And then at around that time, the shit was just getting like so bad that I was like, okay, I if I am gonna deal with this, I at least need to be around my friends, because like in Texas, I had nobody.
Right.
So at that time period is when I reconnected with my friend that I ended up dating, and then ended up pretty much moving in with her and living with her and her family. Wow. And then that's what brought me back to Cali. And then that's kind of what gets us into like me living in LA, starting to actually like get my footing in music, starting to actually like figure out what it is I want to do. And then a couple years after that, that's when we get into like COVID times. But
okay.
Yeah, that time period was just wild. Like it was so much random shit going on.
Dang, dude. So when you came back to when you wanted to be with your friends, was that when you were living with 13 Artist?
No, that's still later.
Dang.
So
dude.
at that time period,
I just like living with your mom out there.
So like
I guess, where were you living?
I was going back and forth between my mom and my dad's. My mom and I had a major falling out. I won't like expose her, but it was a bad falling out. Like I could not go back home. It was just really, really bad. And so at that time period, I called the girl who I was dating, and I was like, yo, my mom said this. This is how she feels. I can't go back to Texas because I'm probably going to like really hurt myself physically out there if I'm alone mentally. And then, and it wasn't even a thing where it was like, I'm putting this on you. It was just like, hey, dude, like I have to be in Cali. The only thing that's made this better is being around my friends. And so I called her, and she was like, all right,
come by,
come stay.
Yeah.
And I was already visiting her and kind of staying with her a little bit, but she was like, all right, we got you. And so
stay however long you need.
Stay however long you need. Yeah. And that turned into a while. And then that's what brings me into staying up in LA area with her. And then I'm staying up in LA, going like back and forth to a bunch of places, starting to like sell beats more frequently.
Gotcha.
And then COVID hits.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So because all this time you're still just focusing on being a producer.
I had recorded one demo.
Yeah.
And I showed it to a couple of people, and people liked it.
Yeah.
But I had just started to like sell beats more consistently, because at that point I'm just in LA.
Yeah.
Just going to as much shit as I can. And I'm a kid, so I just had like you know, the money that I was making off of beats, I was blowing it to like get to other places. And I just was out every single day from ages like 16 to fucking 18, just constantly out trying to just get my foot in like whatever door I fucking could.
Like working with artists and things like that.
Working with artists, selling beats, going to shows constantly, just like making my name more known in LA as just like, that's Sage, he's here. And then from there, I was like, well, if I do that, if I just show up to a bunch of spots, and like something's gonna happen. And things did. It wasn't anything like crazy, but it kept my, you know, I had a little bit of money that like my dad was giving me for groceries every week, and besides that, everything else was on me. So it was like, did that for a while. I was selling clothes. I was hype beasting and shit. Like we were in West Hollywood. So I was like, well, fuck it. I'm going to sell some Supreme. Like I was hustling. So it was just day in, day out. Like something was happening.
Starving artist, indie artist. I mean, that's, that's straight up. But you were so young. I mean, to be living that life already so young, it's like
wild.
That's wild.
I look back on it now and I'm like, holy shit, that was like a different person. Like I mean,
the hunger was insane.
And dude, and it was so fast that like honestly it really does feel like a different person. But like I would skate and this is no exaggeration, like I would skate at least 6 miles a day, just going back and forth from places, going to Koreatown, doing a session, coming to fucking Supreme, copping a BOGO hoodie, selling that shit for $1,000. I'm like, all right, cool, I got $1,000. Like we about to coast for this next month. I ain't got to do shit. We about to just use this money to like get to places and like try. Like I was on the go, and a lot of at the time I fell out with so many people just because I was like, fuck, I have to pay shit, I have to do shit, I have to make shit happen. And so a lot of people, I think, just kind of thought I disappeared friendship wise, but I literally day in and day out was like, how the fuck can I do this? Like I'm here in LA, I've made it here. At this time I'm starting to like actually make a name for myself production wise, not like famous, but just being brought up in people's names and rooms and shit like that. And so it was day in, day out, and then fucking COVID hit.
Straight up, where it's like, all right, well,
back to the drawing board with everything. Fuck, it sucked, dude. Sucked.
So you're in Cali when COVID hit. And then I guess shortly after that, is that when, because I'm trying to think, like, when did that 13 artist commune?
All right, yeah. So like
that's crazy, dude.
Wild. Yeah, that was wild.
So what an insane opportunity.
That comes in, amazing opportunity. That comes in, COVID hits. I'm stuck in this apartment with this other artist and his girlfriend in Koreatown, no AC. Hot as a bitch because COVID hit. Like we got the lockdown in LA at around during summer. I'm telling you, we're sweating. Smoke shops, everything's closed. LA fully locked down.
Yeah, for sure they did.
George Floyd riots are happening right there. Yeah. I'm like watching cars get burned. I'm hearing it was a wild time. Horrible living situation. We had a roach problem that we couldn't even do anything about. Not our fault. We weren't dirty people. It was the fucking building's fault.
Of course. I mean, yeah, there's so many apartments. Yeah.
It was wild. So crazy. Artist commune kicks in. The LA lockdown happens. They shut down the freeways. My mom's like, we need to get you the fuck out of here. We had just reconnected after we were going through our stuff when I was younger. Go back down there for a bit. I had a friend pass away who was a very, very close friend. And I was like, just kind of lost, honestly. So I put myself into this like shitty fucking audio school, which was dumb as fuck because like I was already doing the stuff that they were teaching me.
Of course.
That brings me back up to LA, live in a duplex for a little bit. We get evicted out of the duplex because we got sound complaints. Classic. Then I'm panicking, go on this fucking website, find this room for $950, and I pull up and realize that room is a split room. I was paying $950 for a bunk bed, which is crazy. But that's what brings me into the artist commune.
$950 for a bunk bed?
Some LA shit, dude.
Bro,
and mind you, dude, and mind you, the room size, I shit you not, half of this room, lengthwise. Yeah, like half of this room.
And you were sharing it.
Dude, the bunk bed took up like literally most of the fucking room.
Was your roommate at least cool?
Shouts out my nigga Darius. He was cool as fuck. He was chill as shit. Like that would have made that entire situation a lot different. We had to be cool with each other. I'm still friends with him to this day.
That's what's up. Is he an artist as well?
The artist commune was like a mixture of different things. I think Darius like was showing like interest in art. I honestly don't know what he's pursuing right now, but he's definitely an artistic person, like mentally. And he's very much like, I don't know. I've always looked at him as like a visual person. He like goes to these cool, I told him he should be a location scout. He just like does cool shit and just goes to cool spots. But
yeah,
you know, everyone in that house, if they weren't trying to pursue music or trying to like find their purpose in art, they were already like pursuing it. So it was inspiring.
Damn. Okay. So it was just a bunch of rooms with bunk beds. That's pretty much what the artist commune was. Is that?
It was a mansion with a bunch of bunk beds.
It was a mansion too?
It was huge. Yeah, it was a big. We had like a fucking full-size basketball court in the back. It was big. I mean, granted, when it's 13 young people, it's gonna get dirty pretty fast. But like, yeah, it was a big ass house.
So while you're there, were you producing for a lot of those artists in there? Yeah. Like majority of them, or?
Yeah, pretty much. At that time that I had come in, I was the only person who was doing music full time. Because I had still maintained it like during COVID, and like I was getting like little bits of like family help. At the time I was going to college, and my grandparents had like this college fund that they set aside for me. So they were like, hey, we'll help you out with like rent when you need it, kind of a thing. Everything outside of that, and it wasn't like they were paying my rent because it's damn near $1,000 at every place I was going to. So it was like $300 or $400 kind of a thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Always grateful for it.
Yeah.
Once again, a privilege for sure. But everything outside of that, and LA is a very expensive city. Everything outside of that was just me hustling shit. Yeah. Hustling beats. But yeah, at that point, COVID had hit. So I'm like, nigga, there's 12 other artists around me. I'm about to bank the fuck out.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Constantly run set. Like I was just doing everything I could. When the homie came, I have a homie who makes music. Want to book time?
Perfect.
Like, let's do it. So
yeah, I mean, putting that time in at that house probably kind of trained you to be able to do it for yourself.
Molded me for sure. And just learning how to deal with a bunch of different personalities and just like learning, because there's only like 13 different people in this world, personality wise. Like there's a lot of different people that fall into these different categories, and that taught me how to learn that, and then also just. It's like a training montage almost.
Yeah, you know for sure. Because you're seeing all these different people. You're like, oh, that's this type of person. That's this type of person. That's
that part.
Yeah.
That part. And also just like studio etiquette, like how to deal with certain what you need to do to get something out of certain personalities. All of these like key things that like Kendrick Lamar said it best. I'm not in the music business. I'm in the human business. Like that's the best music you're going to get out of somebody is if you can get to them as a human. And like that spot taught me a lot, and just also how to pull up a bullshit. Niggas is getting drunk, niggas is getting high, there's acid in the fridge, shrooms everywhere. Like it's also, you know, it is a bunch of young people that like had access to a very nice space, and so, you know, it's going to be what it is also at the same time. So,
for sure. I mean, that's artists in a sense. Like
period.
We like to explore our minds, as they say.
Get groovy.
Get a little groovy.
Yeah. No, for sure.
I definitely think that was like probably the exact space you need to be in for that time. Just so you can, like you said, like mold yourself to be Sage X Price, the artist, versus just the producer.
Totally. It taught me a lot.
Yeah. So getting to that mindset where you wanted to become an artist, I guess, what was that transition like where you were like, okay, I'm ready to buckle down? Because then you got that beat from your dad, and
it was like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, that was the song, right? That was what kind of
that was like
it a little bit, right?
Yeah, there was like a couple at that time period. I'm like 16, 17. There was a couple of, not the time period my dad sent me the beat, but at the time when I was around 17, 18 more so, I was getting sent just like random beats that actually I was just making random beats that I was like, you know, this hook would sound cool on it, and just kind of got more used to it.
Using your voice.
Using my voice. Like I always knew how to sing. I was in choir as a kid and stuff, so like it's not the singing part that was new to me, but it was like the writing and stuff. But after I had gone through all that mental shit, that was like the only thing that I would do to help my head when I was going through panic attacks, was just write shit. And so that's honestly what helped me get into writing.
Wow.
Melodies, it just kind of took me time to like learn my voice. So yeah, like at her 17, 18, starting to do like more hooks and stuff. Come around like 2021, just kind of still producing, still selling beats, and then my dad sent me this song, and I was like, hey, let me try writing like a verse and chorus to it. And then I did that, and I was like, oh shit, I think like at that point I was like, I think I'm ready, because I had already written some songs beforehand, but I was like, meh.
Yeah.
But that was the one where I was like, yeah, I think it's ready. And then my dad called me and he was like, it's time for you to like really start doing this.
Damn.
Yeah. It was very, very random. Like it wasn't a thing where it was like, we're going to get you on this song. Like it really was like just, hey, try going on this. And then it felt so good that I was like, oh, fuck. Well, I think it's around that time for me to like actually do this. So yeah, it was pretty wild.
Damn, dude. The fact that it happened in the sense where you weren't expecting it, or it wasn't like manufactured, because one can only assume that because your dad's an artist, that it's just like, oh, like he was like planted by da 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 or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And I think that might have been something where it's like someone might have even said that, or like before, like if I don't know, have you ever had that?
There's
conversation?
Been like, honestly, like there's shit, even with some of my friends, there's been like definite misconceptions about that type of stuff. But
because of your relationship.
Because of my relationship. But like me and my dad, like, my dad is a successful artist in his own right, but my dad will also be the first person to say that he's like no Snoop Dogg or anything like that. And like, me and my dad, I grew up like in 1-bedroom apartments with my dad, and my dad would put his bed in the kitchen type shit. Yeah. So like,
so we always lived that like indie lifestyle.
Well, it wasn't even an indie lifestyle. It just was, like my dad was a single parent and he was doing music full time at 25 years old and had been doing it for a couple years before. So like, stuff, there was always ups and downs, but it's the life of an artist. You can get 10 grand in 1 month, and that might be the only 10 grand that you get for the next 4 months. And like, it sounds like a lot of money at the time, but when that's the only money you have,
and
it's
you have
like,
you have
a baby. So, like, and my dad has rightfully worked on his own stuff that's done well, but there was there was always, we always made do with what we had. So come as I'm getting older, like the people who are like, oh, it's an industry plant type thing or whatever, the few people who I have had those combos with, it's not like the thing where like my dad's like some high up like connected person.
Right.
My dad has his connections for sure, but I think people can get it misconstrued when they hear that my dad's a full-time musician, because they think it's like, well, he's like Jay-Z and he knows everybody. I think with the things that have made sense, my dad has thrown me some layups for sure. But I think the thing that makes us work so well together in the long run is it's very much a half and half kind of a thing.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
And I think it comes down to like, you want it
for sure.
Bad.
Yeah. Regardless of who I had around me, I'd be doing this shit.
And the fact that you moved out at 16, did what you thought you needed to do at the time to be able to like be whatever you were going to be in music, whatever that was at 16 years old, like that vision that you had.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't the artist, Sage X Prize.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you did that shows the initiative that's necessary to even become an artist and at the end of everything, or even become successful at the end of everything.
No, I appreciate that.
So, of course, man. And I mean, and I'm glad to hear that it was a lot of you taking it to a certain level and your parents meeting you there versus like your parents bringing you to a certain level and saying you have to do this.
Totally.
And like if you didn't do it, you felt like you weren't a part of the family or something.
Yeah.
Because that could easily go the other way very
very
poorly.
Fast. Yeah. It's a thin line. All it takes is like one asshole person and then you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
for sure. I mean, I think sometimes though, those are the people that become the greats of the world that like have the support systems around them from the beginning. And so it's beautiful that you've had that support system from the beginning, man.
Thank you.
So then getting to a point like when you're becoming Sage X Prize, the artist, that's a turning point for real.
A big one.
So you're still living in California at the time. Is that right? Or did you move back to Austin?
I'm going like back and forth.
Okay.
Very much like 6 months out of the year in Cali.
So you were half and half.
I was very half and half.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
So then at what point were you like meeting other people in Austin? Because I feel like there's a certain point, because then you met Tony eventually.
Yeah, no, there was like a turning point for sure. I think like 2021, 2022, I want to say more towards 21. That's when I had started recording my first songs, which is like Guilt, Harbor Lawn, a couple other ones, but Guilt and Harbor Lawn were like the first two that I recorded. And so once I knew that like, okay, this is something I want to pursue, I looked at Austin entirely different because I was like, oh shit, there's a bunch of artists and stuff here. So
active.
So 2021, that is when I made more of a conscious effort to be like, okay, I need to like go like put myself in the scene. And with my dad at that point, he was heavy on production and engineering. He had already like hired a bunch of session players and a bunch of kids who were like my age. So the connections were already kind of there, and we had known about each other, kind of a thing. And yeah, it was like summer of 2021/spring where I just went out there for a minute and went to a bunch of shows and like met, because Austin's very big but small. Like it's a growing city, but it's still very small. And in the music community, the people who are like really good, you kind of see them at like kind of a bunch of gigs. So I quickly saw a bunch of reoccurring faces, and it just was very natural. And then met Tony during South by Southwest of 2022, I think.
So was that the one where you guys were like interviewed on like the side of the thing?
No, that was after we.
That was a different one.
That was all. We had already known each other.
I was gonna say, I was like, I think that one was later on.
Yeah,
but,
different later on. But this one, it was like a thing where we just knew the same people.
Okay, so you just met him at South by Southwest, just like attending it.
He was at a show.
He was
doing a show off of like 20th Street or some shit like that, which like for people from Austin is out there in terms of like downtown area. But
so was it outside of the South by Southwest?
It was inside of South by Southwest, but like on that, like it's about as
outskirts,
furthest out as you could get.
Gotcha.
And I had known his guitar player, and I had known like through mutual friends, I knew his bass and drums player. And then we literally just met on a whim. Like it was very much, oh, what's up, man? Nice to finally meet you, blah blah blah. And then we just kind of connected from there. Really.
That's what's up. Did you guys hang out often, or was it kind of like
we hung out a decent amount?
Yeah,
for sure in Texas, because we had like one session together, and Tony would laugh at this, but he came over, and me and my dad smoke a lot of weed. Like we are heavy stoners.
Sponsored
stoner. Yeah, that's why we got the sponsorship. We smoke a lot. And so Tony came through, and I was like, oh yeah, man, you smoke, blah blah blah. And this was like our first session together, and Tony got like, knowing now, Tony got way too high. And we had our first session together, and we kind of just got to know each other well, because he got so high that like I quickly realized, I was like, we're not going to be walking out here with a song that we are going to fucking drop or anything like that. But it was cool because it just allowed us to get to know each other more as friends, like as people, went for like a walk together and shit like that. So
for sure,
that was like the moment where we were like, oh shit.
Yeah. I mean, in like a weird way, it's like sometimes when you smoke or drink with someone, even though it's like, I don't know, you're getting fucked up or whatever the fuck, it's like, it's a bonding kind
filter
of thing.
Yeah.
I really do feel like that's one of those things that, I mean, even now, the fact that we're just casually sipping on some banquets and just like hanging out, smoked a bowl before this, whatever, it's like,
well, these are like ceremonial things. Yeah. People, no, like on some real shit, like especially with drinking. Yeah. Like, dude, alcohol has been a part of like communal things
since the beginning.
The fucking beginning.
Like, like wines and all that
shit. Yeah, that's like totally. That is a thing. So like,
for sure,
it makes sense why that still carries on.
Yeah,
that's like
I agree.
A part of human culture and history.
Yes,
especially depending on what country you're in.
I didn't even think about it like that.
I think about you. I got a weird stoner mind when it comes to shit like that. I be thinking about shit like that.
No, you're right though. I mean, that's like 1,000 years old tradition, probably thousands of years old tradition of just like the social aspect of like drinking,
or even smoking, like hookah and all that shit. Like that's true. Fucking my mom's side of the fam is like all Muslim, so like like all Muslim. I think my mom's like the only Christian. But yeah, like Muslim culture, Arabic, Middle Eastern culture, and specific.
So a lot of hookah.
Not so much hookah on my end, but just tapped into that side of the culture, and like hookah and like smoking hashish and all this stuff. That's like thousands of years old, and people would do that like while discussing like diplomatic shit and all that type of shit, like real
so
shit.
True. No, you're right.
Real shit. So like, there's a reason why things like this, like you were saying with Tony, there's a reason why something like that brings you closer to somebody. I don't know. There's just something about it.
Yeah, man. 100%. I mean, it's great that you guys were able to meet like on a music tip though, and kind of like already be in that mindset before you were able to have that, that time, that experience of like getting stoned together.
Yeah. No, it was nice. Having the context of like we're both musicians and we both like fuck with each other was cool. Cause like, if you took that away, if you took that away, it would have been just too high. People would be like, does this sound good?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man.
No, I mean, to like fast forward to like how much you guys have worked together now is insane. But at the time though, this was before you even were really dropping music. So
I had no music.
So you had no music out, and I guess we could go to like March 2023.
Yep.
Earth Boy tour.
Yeah.
You go out with Tony.
Yeah.
For the first time ever.
It was crazy.
Crazy.
It was wild.
Dude,
yeah.
So what was that moment like when you were like, dang, these are my songs?
Dude, honestly, yeah, it's hard to put in words because like me and Tony, we had gotten really close prior. And like, obviously, you know, Tony is who he is. He's a fucking dope ass dude.
One of the nicest guys.
He's a well-known person. He's a nice person. And, you know, coming from where I come from and being in Fullerton, like, we don't have people like that. I wasn't around people who like were making money off of social media or YouTube or music or anything like that until I got into LA.
Yeah.
Fullerton, we had like punk bands. That was like the only thing that we had. I might be the only musician that's actually made it out of there. Like,
wow.
Honestly speaking. So that ballpark of type of person was new to me. And then at the time when TikTok and all that other shit started popping off, I kind of had already left LA. So I'd never been around somebody who like kind of understood the internet like that. So I say all that to say that when I showed him all of my unreleased stuff, and at this time, like for people who are watching, this was Guilt, Angels, Window Pane, Harbor Lawn, Hurt My Pride, and maybe one other song. So this is like my first rollout of shit that I dropped. And when he told me like, yo, man, I want to bring you on tour. Because at first I just was going to DJ because I had already had like DJing experience prior. And he's like, no, I want to bring you on tour. And then performing, Atlanta was the first show. And I was so nervous because it's already hard being an opener. It's even harder when you don't have fucking music out.
Yeah.
And yeah, the way that they accepted me, it probably a good like 100 people there. And the way that they like accepted me was fucking awesome. And yeah, that moment, you know, to answer your question, it was wild. It was crazy. Cause like my music's very much, the first song that I dropped is Guilt. Like that shit is it's a song where I'm literally talking about like the struggles that I have on like a day to day.
Yeah, it's personal.
It's personal. So like to see people actually relate to that, and like I had a couple people come up who were crying and being like, man, that song hit. And it was wild. And it was almost
first performances.
For my first performance on Atlanta, my first performance ever. So like it was almost over stimulating in a sense. It didn't hit me until like after the tour was over, like how cool that was, and just knowing that like, because I'm very much like a on to the next thing kind of a person, but seeing people cry, dance, be happy, not know who the fuck I was, and like welcome me with open arms. And Tony's fan base is very much, you know, a welcoming fan base.
Absolutely.
Yeah, to answer your question, it was a trip.
Dude,
fucking weird. It didn't hit me. I still don't know if I fully like understand how to like put it into words. It's just weird. And I also still don't fully know if I processed that yet. It's fucking wild. Yeah, it's wild.
I mean, I think divine timing is real, and it's something that we talk about a lot on this podcast, where it's like right place, right time, but you were ready for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like all the years that you put in and all the time that you put in and all like even just the exposure that you had as a kid, even though you weren't consciously putting in time, your dad in a sense was like putting in time for you by letting you see all this stuff and normalizing it.
For sure.
And I think the fact that it was normalized for you by the time you were 16, you're like, well, I could see this as a career for me.
There's no reason.
There was like, it was, it's so funny that like for someone that doesn't have like the childhood that you have, if you were to say like, you can move out and make a career in music, they'd be like, yeah, no way. Like,
I will say with the moving out, my parents were like, fuck no. They were, that was definitely that one. They were like,
that was a rebellious move.
It wasn't even you know, as I've gotten older, my parents and I have had like a lot of good comments about this, but you know, my parents were tripping.
16 is crazy.
It was wild.
Young.
But my parents, they will admit this, like they were tripping. And I was tripping in my own right, for sure. I was a kid, but my parents were, there was a lot of wild shit happening. Yeah. And, you know, as I've gotten older, they're like, dude, it's good that you did that. It was like, yeah, but with the music, total support. And to your point, even with the moving out, like, most parents are going to be like, shut the fuck up. Like, what the fuck is you talking about?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, what? Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, it's wild, like, even for yourself, though, to have, like, the mindset that you had and, like, to be able to be ready for those opportunities when they come to you because you put in the time. No, you know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
So it's like the 2022 like era, I feel like that started almost the Sage X Price era.
Oh no, it did.
Because then it was that same year, October of 2023, when he then Tony moved to Arizona. And then Michael Minnelli goes on his first headlining tour. Shout out to Michael Minnelli. He's going crazy now.
Dude, the fucking growth that I've been seeing since I went on tour. God, like, dude, he had a lower following than Tony, and now he's smoking all of them.
Yes. He was at like crazy. Less than 100K.
Dude.
Maybe he was at like 100K.
I think he was at like 100K.
He was like 100K when you guys went on that tour, which was maybe October of 2023.
October of 2023, yep.
He just hit 900K.
Jesus.
900K, dude. He got like he easily got 700K followers in the past like 6 months.
I text him all the time. Well, not all the time, but like once every couple of months, I'll text him and just be like, "Hey, man, congrats!" Like, not for real, because like,
he's awesome. He's such a good dude.
He's a good dude. Not like you know, that tour taught me a lot in a lot of different ways for sure. But one thing it did teach me is that Mikey's a fucking solid guy. Like, bro, he's a cool dude.
Hustler too.
He's a hustler.
He works his ass off.
He works his ass off. If he fucks with you, he will let you know. I mean, dude, the amount of times that like he and I just had like a bunch of cool combos. We really, tour is an interesting thing where you become so close with somebody.
With the people that you're on tour with.
The people that you're on tour with.
Yeah.
And regardless of like how much time may or may not go by with y'all not talking or not seeing each other, you just always have that fucking like bond. You know what I mean? And like
from that moment,
Mikey made that shit like very apparent. He was very, very appreciative, very cool. But so like the Tony shit
led into
starts the Sage X Price shit. He brings me back on tour with Michael Minnelli, and at that point, that's like when, you know, that's when the ball started rolling.
For sure.
It was like, okay, it's time for us to like really do this shit.
Yeah, man. So we're talking now from March to October, that's 7 months. So basically like a little over a half year passes, and then now Sage X Price music starts to come out.
Pissed about that too. There's so many people.
What?
Me taking so damn long to drop the first song.
After performing it.
People would I still get, we were on Instagram Live the other day and someone was like, Sage is good at taking forever to drop songs.
I mean, that happened with Subtle.
Yeah. Boy, did it. But I dropped a bunch of shit in between, so it was good. But 7 months.
So then October of 2023 though. So I just want to talk about that time because like you said, you released your first music. What was it? Guilt?
Yep.
Guilt,
yeah.
Was it Guilty or Guilt?
Guilt.
Just Guilt.
Yeah.
So Guilt came out October of 2023. You go on tour October of 23. You're trying to promote the song on tour.
Yes, sir.
So it's like that era of time, like you got a lot of traction really early. Like
for sure.
You I don't know, in a sense it was almost like unusual like the normal artist, like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
resonated, but do you think that was because you had already been performing it and like you had already grown online to a certain degree, or what do you think that was?
Dude, I think it was like divine timing, like you were saying. Honestly, online, my presence was very little because like dude, like previous before music, I was not on social media. I deleted Snapchat when I was like 15. I barely had a personal Instagram. Being on my phone, because I watched my dad do it for so long, and I watched my dad, like, you know, honestly speaking, at times, like, he was on his phone so much he like wouldn't hear me sometimes, or like, you know, he'd get hate comments and that'd really fuck my dad's day up. So like, I watched the phone be like a source of anxiety for a lot of people. So by the time that like the phone was a thing for me, I really kind of stayed away from it. So I'd say that to say that by the time that this tour happened and I made this account and all that stuff, I honestly was kind of like ghost, because I didn't know what the fuck to do. I didn't have any music out for those 7 months. So what helped with the boost, I think, was the real life connections that I had made with a lot of these supporters from the first tour
on Earthboy
tour, because, you know, when you have a video that goes viral, you're going to get people who follow you off rip, but that doesn't always relate to like an actual full-on supporter. They support you digitally, which is awesome, but like being in person, I made real connections. So people weren't mad at me that I wasn't posting. I didn't lose a bunch of followers. I gained like a couple thousand off the first tour, and like people weren't unfollowing because they were like, well, I met them in person. So I think the in-person relationships that I was able to build is what held me down in the long run, because they knew who I was, and I'd spent time with these people. And like the VIP experience in Atlanta was like literally hanging with us backstage and just kicking it. So like, I think that's what helped. I think so. For
sure. And I mean, by the time that was happening though, you were again ready for it, because you had like spent your time and like almost.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're good. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say we had so much shit backlogged. Like, we had content ready to go, songs ready to go.
Like, you made like 11 songs in I think like 3 or 4 months or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's like you were ready. You basically like had like a year's worth of music damn near by the time you released your first song.
That was the plan.
So it was kind of like in a sense of being ready. And I actually had like a question, and I guess it's kind of just speak on the topic of like having that backlog and being ready for success when it happens, so that way you can be consistent, because it's like the power of consistency wins every single time.
Fucking absolutely.
So it's like, and Russ talks about it, where it's like if he was going to restart now, that's exactly what he would do now.
Yeah.
Is just like release every month or something like that. And I was like, dude, I mean, I've seen so many artists do that, and it makes so much sense. And you did it. And it's like
it worked.
It worked very well. It's working.
It worked. It worked thankfully consistently well. Yeah. No, the consistency is key.
Yeah.
That was my biggest thing. I talked with my manager, who's my dad, and I was like, hey man, if we're gonna do this, like, and it sounds kind of goofy, but a lot of it came from wanting to be off my phone.
Wow.
I was like, dude, I want to be able to like just focus on the music. And for me to be able to do that, I have to have shit so ready to the point where all I got to do is just press post.
Yeah.
And so that's what initiated. Musically, it just was like, fuck, I'm pushing out songs. Like, this is fun.
Yeah.
But on the business side of things, it was out of a want to just focus on the music.
Yeah.
And so that's still what I'm doing. Like, these songs that people are hearing, I mean, Subtle is fucking 2 years old. Like,
that's crazy.
That is an older song. Like, the shit that I'm dropping is older, but it's new to the people who haven't listened to it. And I think it also allows me to like really sit with my stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Because of the fact that you're backlogging it too, it's like you're not releasing it all at once either. So it's like you said, you can marinate on it, and you can see if you even want to release it.
There's been songs I performed
in that time. Make more stuff.
Exactly. There's been songs I performed on tour that I was like, I don't know if I want to drop this anymore.
Yeah, so, exactly. Totally. And it's in a way that's like, I feel like I end up talking about like comedy and music a lot because I see
a
a lot.
Huge comedy fan,
dude. Same
word.
Like
yeah. You brought up Kill Tony the other day, and I was like, he knows what's up.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. I'm like kind of deep in the trenches when it comes to the comedians and like how they move and all that. So I sometimes really relate to a lot of them. I feel like when it comes to like being an artist, because I feel like in the same way that they test jokes on audiences.
Yeah.
You could do that as a musician
all day.
You know, where it's like if you're performing consistently, you try a song to 3 different audiences, they're gonna react differently. So in a sense, you can start to tailor your set to that city or that type of audience or that type of, you know, whatever.
Exactly.
So, and I think that's like such a beautiful place to be in, where you have the ability to like have all these songs that you're already written and done, so that way you can almost tease them before they're even out.
Yeah.
And be like, yo, did they fuck with that one? If so, that's getting dropped.
Every show I play, I throw at least two
unreleased,
2-3 unreleased. Yeah, because nothing is gonna work better than seeing how it reacts in person. You know what I mean?
True, bro.
That's just the truth. Tyler, the Creator, talks about it. He's like, I went to the club to hear how this song sounded in the club because I wanted to see how people react. It's like, the seeing how people react firsthand is always going to give you like a pretty good, you know,
almost like litmus test.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Literally exactly that.
Yeah. Where it's like, you see how hot it actually is.
That part. Yeah. Because when you're in your room and you're half asleep, you're like, this shit's fire.
Yeah.
And you might play it and you're like, I don't feel comfortable doing this live. Like these notes are outside of my range. There's so many different factors.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
And I guess these are like, this is kind of inside baseball, you know, like if you're talking like to like in musicians terms or artist terms, like if you're not an artist or musician or anything like that, like you might not be able to relate to that the same, but like I feel like anyone can relate to it in their own way. But I feel like that's like a really big thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, no, I agree. There's the litmus test. You do it in life.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna put on this piece of clothing. See if people fuck with it.
See that, you know exactly. I mean? So you can relate even if you're not an artist.
It's the same.
It's the same thing.
It's like I'm gonna show people this. If they fuck with it, cool. If not, maybe I should do this. Maybe I should rethink this. Or maybe they don't fuck with this, but in my gut, I'm like, nah, this is it. And sometimes that shit, it might lead you astray, and sometimes it might lead you to just like, man, y'all just gotta sit with this and look at it for a bit and understand it. You know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah. And then on that same note too, you can try in Atlanta, New York, and LA and get 3 different reactions.
That tour helped me realize that like, okay, these songs are ready to go. There was only one song out of that tour that I didn't drop, but that shit was like, it sounds kind of cocky to say this, and I'm not a cocky person, but like when Never Enough blew up, I wasn't surprised, because when I performed that song live, people liked that song the most. So I was like, oh, well, this makes sense. Because people were fucking with that song when I did it fucking a year before it even came out.
Yeah.
And now it's, you know, at that time it was going up like 100K in like a week, 2 weeks. So it was like,
oh my God,
huge. And now it's at like $500,000 just on Spotify alone. So like, yeah, that litmus test works like a motherfucker.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
People like it. People like it. People loved Subtle. Subtle's one of my fastest progressing tracks out right now.
Yeah,
so
that song got 100K in like
literally a week.
Yeah.
So like,
crazy.
That shit, I don't know if you can argue against a real life person's reaction. It's in my experience, every song that people have liked in person has done well when I dropped it. So
yeah, it makes sense, dude. And I mean, this is like, and just to relate it to another creative industry, in cinema, that's why they do test screens,
festivals, all that
festivals shit. And like, because by the time people see it in a festival, there's still time to edit it before it goes into
all day
to theaters. So it's like, that's why they do it, because they want to get these test screening audiences, so that way they can be in the audience or watching the audience. Because I've heard a lot of filmmakers talk, and I've watched like a lot of interviews with them, and when they do test screenings, Judd Apatow talks about like watching the audience and like watching their reaction.
Ryan Coogler said the same thing.
Watching the movie, So Ryan Coogler, the Sinners and Black Panther, amazing. He's one of the young legends of our generation
for sure.
So when you do test screenings, you watch the audience, and it's the same thing. Where it's just like the difference being like the movie is the artist on stage versus you being the artist on stage watching.
A good fucking analogy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, in a way, it's more personal as being an artist on stage because you're looking in these people's, like, their eyes and their souls.
Yeah.
So you're being able to, like, watch them cry or watch them have a great time and be like, oh, wow, that one actually, like, touched them, like, visually. I can see it.
Yeah.
Like, they're right in front of me and they're going crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, oh, man, I love that you're able to, like, almost do that like so strategically in a sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, and it's weird because there's not too many things in my life where I'm strategic at all. Like I'm normally improv a lot of shit. But yeah, with the music, when it came time, because I improv the production shit and I improv the engineering shit.
Of course. That's in the moment.
It's in the moment. And I was like, oh, that worked. I wonder how well it'll work if I actually put the time in to like plan something. Yeah. And yeah, you know, it's the dominoes fell into the right place at the right time.
That's
and like
so true.
I will forever, you know, I tell Tony this all the time, but like, dude, like when shit is crazy popping, like I'm forever gonna remain loyal to that dude. Cause like none of this would be happening. Maybe it would have happened later, but none of this would be happening right now the way that it is if it wasn't for Tony just like taking a chance on me and being like, come on tour, bro. Pretty wild. It's like some movie shit, really.
It really is, man. But I mean,
really is.
Realistically, like you were so genuine from the beginning. So it started as a friendship. And I think that's why, and that's why it, I don't think Tony would have fucked with you as much as he did if you guys weren't like
he's very
homies.
Specific about who he's friends with. And same thing with me. And it has totally changed the way that I work. With production and engineering, if someone pays me a budget, hey bro, it doesn't matter if I don't know you, I'll work on your shit. Yeah. But when it comes to like this Sage X Price shit, like if we're not friends, like you and I are, or Alco, or I just met Danny yesterday, but like he's already a homie. Kaz, Tony, all these people, like if we're not friends like that, I think I'm kind of cool on working. Unless it's a dope ass opportunity. But like, yeah, starting off as friends, the business will never end in a poor way if you're friends. It's always just, if something does end, it's a mutual thing. It's an understood thing. There's no arguments. It's just an easier way to go about going after this, you know, beautiful thing that we call music.
For sure. And I think because it's an art form that almost like, I don't know, needs to be respected to a certain degree, and we all respect it so highly, it's like easy to relate on that tip. So I feel like that's one of those things where when you find people that are running in that same thing, like I feel like I've had a lot of situations where like with Danny and I mean Futuristic, Marcus Reardon of This Modern, that's one of my good homies, Anakin, Tony, Austin. I mean, I don't know if I said Austin already, but all these guys that are now in the circle, Kaz included. Every single one of those guys, I've met them and become like good friends with them within a couple of hours.
Literally.
So it's
natural.
It's so like, but that's the thing where it's like, if you don't have that right off, because on the other hand, I've had a lot of people that I couldn't even name that have come into my life since I've met all these people, you know, in the interim or whatever. And they don't become part of my life because we don't have that thing, I guess, connection in a sense.
No, for sure.
And I think that connection, that like you have a certain energy about you that's very like personable, so it's like easy to become friends with you. I feel like that. Of course, man. I mean,
same with you.
Thank you, man. I think you probably get that a lot, you know, and like you're probably like easy to be. Like,
depends on the day. No.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I think I try to be as nice to people as I can. Yeah. No, for real. Like, I'm always gonna greet you with niceness and like, if you want to talk, I want to talk. You know
it seems like that, and it's funny because this is like the second time we've ever like hung out.
Yeah.
But it does feel like you from the beginning, and even when I met you at Michael Minnelli's show, like the energy that you and Tony gave off were very similar.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I can see that.
Like, like nice, quiet guys. That was like my very first. And like both of you guys are probably into anime, you know, like
absolutely. Yeah, you're definitely right. You're spot on. You're spot on.
So it's like,
I appreciate the compliments, by the way.
Of course, man. No, but it's nice. Like you're coming out here, you're able to connect with us and like kind of do like a press run with our platforms too. You know what I'm saying?
You guys are just so. I've said this so many times privately to Tony and to Alco even, like you guys are really good people, and you guys also just happen to be doing really good shit. And so like,
thank you, man.
Yeah, like the space and time is always around and available for like people like y'all, because it's just, yeah, like you said, it's only our second time meeting, but like, dude, I've seen you do so much for all of our friends that I'm like, all right, this guy has to be pretty fucking cool, or else like nobody would keep going and hanging out with him and fucking with him and stuff. So yeah, like I think, you know, it's a mixture of all of us like putting in the work to be around good people, and then I also think like the universe and all of that, like spiritual shit is real. Like there is a fucking timing with all this shit. Not all of us needed to meet each other at that same time, but it happened
for sure,
and that's awesome.
I mean, the fact that we didn't really meet until now, I think, is because for its own reasons. You know,
exactly.
Me doing my own thing, you doing your own thing, having the timing be,
which is good problems.
It's so good. Yeah, dude. It's like, I mean, we met in October of 2023, which is quite a while ago.
I know, it's crazy.
But like to think about it, like that was just 2 months, 3 months after I started this podcast.
We're entirely different people.
We're tired. Yeah, exactly.
That's a month of me starting. That's the first month of me starting my shit.
Exactly.
So it's like, yeah, it's all timing.
Yeah, dude. I'm glad that we're able to connect now. It's
me too.
Like it's fucking. This is great, dude.
Nah, I'm stoked about this shit.
So there's a couple more questions here that I have. So you ended up getting on Never Enough the remix. You got Westside Boogie on that. Bro. How did you do that? I mean, was that just like a personal connection, or what was that?
Dude, like hella organic. There was like, we knew mutuals, just like kind of being from LA. My manager also knew just like a couple mutuals, but honestly, like my manager fucking sent him. I have a video that I posted on Instagram. It's like the first video I posted. And it's just like an introduction video. It's kind of just me being like, hey, this is who I am. Blah, blah,
is it
blah,
like the wide shot of you like standing on like the ledge?
Yeah, exactly. And my manager sent that to Boogie, and Boogie responded.
Oh, wow.
And this is also like at the same time, this is like, I have maybe 2 singles out. Like,
dang.
Maybe 2 singles. Like this was actually, no, bro. This is before I have music out.
Damn.
This is during the Earth Boy tour.
So this is like March time.
This is March time of 2023. My manager sends him that video. Boogie responds. He's like, hey man, I'd love to work. Gave us a hella love. Like just showed us mad love.
Damn.
Off rip. Right before I had left to tour, I had made Never Enough, the original version.
Right.
And he was like, hey man, let's hop on this. I was in town for the LA show at Earth Boy. I was pulling up to a weed dispensary.
Nice.
And I was like, literally in the parking lot, my fucking dad hit me, dad/manager, and he was like, yo, we have an opportunity. And he's like, it's gonna be easy. He's like, we just need to pick the song. Pick Never Enough. Sent it over to Boogie. He got me my shit the same day, which was fucking wild. Like people don't ever do that.
They're excited if they do that the first.
For real.
Yeah.
And once again, back to like, you know, the shit I was talking about with Tony. I did not have a thing out. He just believed in it. Hopped on the track. Literally the day that I got back from New York from the Earth Boy tour, I flew in at 3 a.m. Landed, slept for like 6 hours, had the video shoot with Boogie that day at like 10 a.m. And it happened so quick. Yeah.
Damn,
so
dude.
This was, once again, hella organic, no music out, just off of like the belief in me. And
dang, so by the time you dropped Guilt, you already had
The Boogie shit, yeah.
The Boogie.
Back to back locking.
Yo.
Dude, I had the Boogie shit like a year before that shit came
That's
out.
crazy.
Yeah,
bro.
that one was hard. That one was hard to be quiet about, dude.
Yeah, that's like
that one was tough to be quiet. Yeah, I had
crazy.
The Boogie shit came out in June of 2024. I had that Boogie track since April of 2023. Yeah.
Damn, okay.
Pretty wild.
Dang, dude. So you're sitting on it for a minute. So it's like as soon as everything started blowing up, you're like, just wait till I drop that.
Oh, dude, when Guilt did like, at the time, like Guilt did 10K first week, and I was like, this is my first song. This is awesome.
Yes, of course.
Started dropping more stuff, and people were like, man, this is dope. And I was like, just you fucking
yeah,
wait.
just you fucking wait.
And the timing of it was crazy.
Yeah, because it didn't drop until 2024.
Didn't drop till 2024, but dude, the week before it came out, Kendrick Lamar did the fucking pop out towards the end of the show. Well, Boogie performed at the pop out.
Ooh.
Towards the end of the show, there's a clip. You can look it up. Kendrick Lamar he's like, it's when everybody was up on the stage. Kendrick Lamar is like, hey, Boogie, come over here. He grabs Boogie, puts his arm around him. They start rapping to the cam. He shouts out Boogie. This is a week before my track with him dropped. I'm on the couch watching this happen, going crazy, calling my fucking dad like, yo, we better have a fucking hit. Kendrick Lamar fucking with Boogie. He like straight up like brought him up to the camera. They was vibing. Like he specifically got Boogie out the crowd and was like, come up here. So yeah.
So Boogie went up. Oh, man.
This is a week before my track drops with Boogie. So yeah, divine timing once again. So like
straight up.
Yeah, waiting on it for a year felt like hell at the time. But as soon as I saw him when he performed at the pop out, and this is Kendrick's, Kendrick's going crazy. This is the diss era, all the shit. So like,
for sure.
Yeah, that was like, when I saw that, I was like, holy shit, I'm so glad I waited to drop this fucking track.
That is so nuts.
Crazy
dude.
timing, bro. Crazy timing. I have a picture. I was at my mom's in Fullerton. I have a picture of when Boogie came up on the screen, and I just was like, I just took the picture immediately, and I was like, this song's going to be the biggest song. And then,
what is it at now?
Altogether, I think it's about 700K.
Jeez.
Yeah, which was like,
God.
Yeah, pretty wild. This is with no social media virality. This is purely off like the power of the song.
Right. And because he's the main artist on it as well.
Because he's the main artist for sure, like that helped without a doubt. But just even like the push that I got, like when people were coming back to me and following me and stuff. Like,
oh man,
it gave me a lot of hope because, dude, at a time where social media is like the top #1 thing, to have a song that like actually naturally did well on its own and was all organic, it was without social media. I was posting, of course, but it's not like I didn't know what I was doing back then, so I was trying to find out my flow.
This is still early on.
Early on, and yeah, it was fucking wild. So yeah, that's how it came about. Very natural, very organic, and very quick.
Yeah, dude. Really, I mean, but that's how shit happens in this industry.
If you're not ready for it,
yes, it's got you got to exactly, because sometimes you'd be like, yo, we got to record this tonight, it's coming out next week. It's like, if you're not ready, then it's like, sorry dog, you missed it, we're getting someone else.
Literally that.
Yo, so in your time you've had a couple crazy opportunities with some big brands, NBA and Disney.
So and now Blizzard.
Yeah. Like cool. Blizzard Entertainment?
Yeah.
The video game company?
Yeah. That's a new one. Yeah.
So these are all sync license opportunities?
Yeah.
So what songs? Shit, that's crazy. Congrats, dude.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Dude. I'm an Overwatch fan. So like,
I was going to say, that's a legendary company, dude.
Thank you, bro.
Oh, shit. Okay, cool. So, nice. So I guess let's just go through those three. Let's just do NBA, Disney, Blizzard. What's the opportunity, and when did the NBA shit happen? Because it kind of happened early.
Yeah, that shit happened hella early. I was like 17.
Yeah, what was that placement?
Me and an artist named Josh Dominguez and another artist named TR3. When I was living in Koreatown, the artist who I was living with was Josh, and I had made the beat in Austin. Brought it to them. Josh bought it off of me. We got Trey on it, and it's called Doubt. And it was just a banger. And at the time, Josh was dropping music underneath United Masters.
Gotcha.
And United Masters was really putting a focus on just like getting tracks placed for people. One day I was at my mom's in Fullerton. We were driving off of fucking Chapman Boulevard. I remember exactly. And we got an email, and it just was like, hey, NBA 2K21's coming out. We would like music. This is where your music will be played, which is pretty much like throughout the whole game. Yeah. And the whole reason why they did it was because the line "Feet Don't Fail Me Now," and it was like relation to basketball. So that happened. It was a dude named Caesar from United Masters who was like getting us into that whole thing
conversation.
Yeah, and that happened like 2018.
Dang. So
no, excuse me. I take that back. That happened 2019 because the game dropped in 2020. Yeah.
So it was for NBA 2K21 that dropped in 2020.
Yeah,
because
you know how they
in 2019.
Exactly, and you know how with the sports games, like Madden 2026 is gonna come out this year.
2025.
Exactly.
That makes sense. Okay. Damn.
Yeah, and then
dude, so it's in 2K21.
Yeah, no, that shit was sick, and I grew up playing that shit.
Did you get a copy? Did you?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Of course.
Yeah. I was like,
did they send you a copy?
No, they didn't, which is fine.
Okay,
but at the same time, I was like, Ronnie, you could have, you could have hooked me up.
Yeah, dude,
it's all good.
Crazy.
But yeah, that was like my first, step into like the placement shit.
Damn.
And yeah, from there
at 17, that's nuts.
Oh, it was wild. I didn't know how the fuck to feel about it. It was crazy.
Were you were already plugged in with like publishing though, and like BMI or ASCAP situations because your dad kind of lets you know what's up.
It was a mixture. Like my dad kind of let me know what's up, but it just was also back to like the nerding out on the music shit.
Yeah.
It just was like the thing that I was interested in.
You figured it out kind of yourself.
Yeah.
And he just helped support that.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It was very, very like.
So you're able to manage that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's
cool.
I mean, because if you're given an opportunity like that, but you don't have like the back end stuff to like collect on something like that, then you won't be able to collect on something like that. Like that you need your own publishing company. That type.
Put down the couple $100. Like,
yeah, exactly. To get the license and all that stuff. Basically,
that was the easy part.
Yeah,
I was like, well, I'm not about to fucking miss out on money. And I was like,
especially from the NBA.
Dude. Yeah, I was like, I need this fucking money.
That's crazy. Yeah. Dude. So do you still get paid on that now?
Yeah.
I love it. I fucking love it.
Every time my quarterly publishing check comes in from BMI, I always see a little NBA out.
That's like, wow, so sick.
That's crazy. That's like 6 years later and
shit. Go.
It's wild. But yeah, that got me into like understanding the sync licensing game.
Yeah.
And just understanding like what that world is.
Yeah, and I mean, to the uneducated, sync licensing means that you can get your music placed in movies, TV, and video games.
Yep.
And
commercials.
Commercials. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. So everything that you see on TV, basically, or on movies and different TV shows or whatever, or video games, like I said, all of that is ran through publishing companies, and essentially BMI and ASCAP. They are essentially like royalty collections companies, to put it for like layman's terms.
Yeah.
But they're the ones that handle all the distribution of funds to the artists. So essentially, like Sage every quarter will get a check from BMI from all of his sync licensing deals that he has with different companies.
Yep. And then for people also wondering, like, there's streaming / mechanical royalties, and then there's performance royalties.
Yes.
Streaming royalties is pretty much what the companies like Spotify, Apple Music, and all of those other companies like that stream your music. It's the money that they pay you for doing well on their platform. The publishing / performance royalties, it's the same thing. Those are for the work that you've done for the track that is handled by a completely separate entity.
Right. So if you think about it, it's like two halves of the same pie.
Exactly.
So it's like your Spotify and your Apple Music is one pie. Your performance royalties, like your publishing and stuff, is one pie.
Because people will also wonder, like, because 1 million streams on Spotify only equals like 8K, I think. So people are like, well, how the fuck are people making money off of music? The publishing checks is how you eat off of a popular song or just music in general. That is going to be the stuff that actually pays you for your work. All that other shit is controlled by the DSPs, direct streaming platforms, or digital streaming platforms, excuse me. And then that's controlled about how much money they want to pay you. But that's, for any artist that's doing anything, publishing is like if you get a big song, that's what's going to pay you for the rest of your life.
For sure. And what that means is owning your own company and your own LLC, whatever that looks like in your own state. So that way you can have a publishing company on paper with BMI, because then you basically can register all of your music to that publishing company and have that be as your quote unquote record label to a certain degree.
Exactly.
So it's simple, but it's inside baseball
for sure. Yeah,
and it's a little technical. But
well,
it's
also
simple.
These websites look like fucking government websites from like the 90s. They make it so hard to understand.
Make it hard.
But yeah, that's like, you explained it very well. But yeah, that was like the thing where I was like, oh shit, all right, let me try doing this more. And years later, you know, we get to the Blizzard shit and the Disney shit.
I mean, yeah. So now talk about the Disney shit. So what was that situation and when was that?
So the Disney stuff, I can finally talk about it because I was under like NDA like a motherfucker.
I bet. I mean, Disney's the biggest company in the fucking world.
Dude, I was so scared. Even with people who I was talking about it with personally, I was like, do not record a fucking second of this convo.
Yeah.
Or else I'm fucked.
Yeah, right.
Like bad. But yeah, the Disney stuff had the Disney stuff was a connection that was made when I first did I had done a placement for this mobile app gaming service. And the music director for that was this person named Adam Gubman, who helped my dad make his like first ever album.
Oh shit.
So it was a very old relationship that kind of was like sparked anew. And Adam had hit me up and he was like, hey man, there's this song I want you to do. That mobile game placement led to Blizzard, did that, did some composition and some arrangement. And I kind of just built a good work rapport, and Adam was like, hey, this is a big one. And they pretty much were just like, hey, we fuck with your stuff and we need like 16 bars on this song that's going to be played for the Halloween theme in Tokyo Disney. And it was a very, very like easy process. I can't speak for other people who have done work for them, but they hit me up for this thing. I did it. Sent my verse in, recorded it from my house because I was like, well, fuck it. Might as well do it myself. And you know, with that type of stuff, it's months without no response.
Yeah,
you're just hoping. You know what I mean? You just send it in. You get paid.
Tough.
It's tough. The anticipation. What's cool is you get paid for your work. So like when I did the demo and did the work into it, I got me a little check, and that was nice. Mm-hmm. But you're waiting for fucking months, and then you know, one day we got the call and they were like, hey, this is getting kept. And this is like 2 weeks before it dropped. Signed a bunch of contracts. And it was a very, you know, I say this word a lot, but it was very organic. It was just like, hey, I think I have this opportunity for you from Adam. And thankfully just nailed it. And it was a fucking trip, man.
Dude, so it gets played in Tokyo Disney.
Yeah, I have a bunch of videos of it. It was fucking like how we have in American Disneylands, like there's, you know, the walkway that you go
like
through.
The parade and stuff like that.
And that's what it was getting played for, And it was,
dude.
It was a trip. Yeah, it was a trip.
Wow. Have you gone to Tokyo?
No, and I wanted to go really bad, but
are they still playing your song?
I think it's done now, but I think it'll be coming back for next Halloween. But I wanted to go. It's just they didn't let me know that the shit was accepted until literally 2 weeks before it came out. Yeah. So a piece of me was like, maybe I could book the flight a couple months in advance. But at the same time, I didn't want to be out on a trip. And also, if it didn't go through, as much as I want to go to Japan, it's gonna be like, well, fuck, I got to get started on the next one.
Yeah.
So
but now you should go to Japan though.
I have to. I have to.
Just especially if it's in the next
totally,
dude. Yeah.
And on a family note, it was cool because a lot of people don't know this, but my great grandpa was Walt Disney's financial advisor for Disneyland on my dad's side of the fam. He was like,
way.
Yeah, he was like pretty much the guy who they hit up and were like, hey, we're either going to put Disneyland in Florida or all these other places, whatever. And my great grandpa was like, you should put it in Florida and Orange County. It's going to make the most money. And so he became like Walt Disney's right-hand man.
Oh my God.
And it was crazy. With that being said, did not grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth. He donated all of his money when he died. He was like, y'all need to figure this shit out yourselves. But
Yo, but what a crazy, I mean,
on a full circle moment,
yeah,
it was wild to be able to like
crazy.
work with Disney and then have like a family connection. It was a very, very wild fucking occurrence.
Oh,
for sure.
Man.
It's pretty wild. Yeah.
Dude, that's a pivotal decision for Disney as a business too, because Disney World in Florida and Disneyland in California, both so damn successful.
And I don't know why the fuck he picked
either
of those. He just had the vision.
Yo,
years later, here it is still.
Dude, I didn't. That's one thing that's not on the internet.
Yeah, I don't talk about it a lot because I feel like so many people are gonna get the like, oh, well, he must have grew up rich, and like it's understandable to think that. That's why I don't talk about it a lot. But my great grandpa was very much a hardworking man. It was like, I did this. Y'all have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like I grew up in equal opportunity. That's what they call like welfare housing in California. But I grew up in like welfare housing with my mom. Like I was saying with my dad earlier, like it wasn't, wasn't the roughest it could be, but it also wasn't the nicest it could be. So I don't talk about that a lot, but on a private level and now public, it was cool to be able to like share that with my family and, talk to the skies and be like, hey, good grandpa, like,
this was for you.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hey, man, like,
yeah,
it's kind of crazy how this lined up.
For sure.
Yeah.
Exactly. You guys both have ties to Disney. So I'm sure like growing up too, Disney was like hit a little different too.
For sure. The times I hated roller coasters as a kid, so I didn't go a lot. But the times where I did, like when my great grandpa died and they did the memorial at Disney, they gave him like this big window.
Oh, really?
With all this crazy shit on it. And it was
amazing.
It hit different because
Is it still there?
Yeah, still there. Yeah, they keep it up. They are not touching that shit. But yeah, realizing that my great grandpa was a part of like a place that makes people so happy is pretty fucking cool.
Dude, super cool. Yeah. I mean, that's like, one of the most legendary places of all time.
Happiest place on earth.
The happiest place on earth.
It's wild.
Dude.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. It's awesome.
So, from the beginning, you've been a independent artist. And I want to talk about the company Popular Nobody.
Yeah.
Because that's like your, I guess, would you consider that like an indie label or what would you consider that?
Indie management.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is that you and your dad?
Yeah. That's me and my pops. My dad is definitely the head of it for sure. Legally, I'm on like 50% of it. But, when I was younger, it was more of like, my dad was bringing these artists and we just would chop it up about shit. Like, oh, you fuck with this person. It was almost like a borderline A&R kind of thing. And now that I've gotten older, I've was at first, producing and doing stuff for Popular Nobody and working within the artists that we had at the time, which was like TR3 and Sage One the Wise and a couple of these other artists. And then as I started releasing my own music, it was like, well, we might as well do this with you. And they're I mean, everyone that we have a part of the team is awesome. It's like very, very family based, very, very organic. So it's,
because that's still your affiliation now.
Yeah. My distro is, I have a distro deal through Popular Nobody, which is with Foundation Media.
Okay.
Managed by Popular Nobody. They don't own my masters or anything, so it's like it's a very, very good deal. And it's just, I can't really complain about it, honestly, because like when you start to look at other deals, you're like, damn, it is hard to like get such a good like maneuver out of it. But that is the team for sure.
I want to bring it up because it's like the importance, and I want you to speak on like the importance of having like a business mindset when it comes to this music ship, because of the fact that it is a business. And a lot of people come into the music thinking that it's all creative and it's all art and it's all fun times and stuff like that. But you do have to kind of have some pretty tough conversations sometimes.
Yeah.
And some, I guess, even if they're not tough, they're just like pretty technical and, they're almost like business type conversations.
Well, there's a reason why it's called the music business.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And like, yeah, I agree with you fully. The business side is like just as important as the music. Hopefully you get to a point where you can have people that you trust enough that can handle the business for you, so you can just worry about the music.
Mm-hmm.
But
as an independent artist,
it's, you have to balance a lot of plates for sure. And and it is tough, like I've thankfully have built a team around me that like does help me with a lot, but for the most part, about 90% of the shit that you see is me. Yeah. And, even with my content and stuff, like I spent the 2,500 on the camera and did shit like that. So like, in terms of like the business mindset, I think having a background in production and engineering, which naturally you have to form a business mindset for that to be a career.
Yeah.
It allowed me to go into the solo artistry with an understanding of like how to do that balance, because while I'm pursuing the Sage X Price shit, like, stuff still has to get paid for. And even if you get 1 million streams, that's $8,000. Like that's, in the grand scheme of things, not a lot of money.
Yeah.
I stream decently well, but like, we get half a cent per stream. So it's like the solo artistry, unless I'm on tour, isn't enough to maintain stuff. So I've always had to keep the production and engineering side of things going, so that way I can maintain my lifestyle.
Yeah.
So the business side, I think the creative side is definitely more important. Excuse me. But I think the business side has to, if we're going on like 100%, the creative got to be 65 and the business got to be 45. Cause like, it's dope when you're younger and you're in your 20s, but you hit 30 and it's like, how much longer can you really do this music stuff and like actually live a life that you want to live? And also we are in an age-based game. You know what I mean? We are in a thing where, like, at least in hip hop, I can say the difference about other genres, but like in the hip hop world, R&B world, like you only have so much time. Obviously anything can happen, but then also just on a social like life level, the people around you are only gonna allow you to be like, yeah, I'm young and fucking on tour and like I'm doing all this stuff. But then you get to a certain age and people's trying to have kids and shit like that.
Yeah.
And so for me, I've always just wanted to like have my business straight, so that way, like, I'm 23 now. I want to have my shit straight, so that way, like, I can only focus on this music stuff. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I think thankfully I've always given a fuck about the music. About the business.
Yeah,
and so
sure. Both. I mean, both. You could say that about both.
About both, for
You've
sure.
You've given a fuck about both from the beginning. And I think that's the reason why. I mean, you gave a fuck about the music first, but that was the reason why you started giving a fuck about the business, because you were able to make a sale off the music.
And I want to do this forever.
Yeah.
And so how do I do this forever? Turn it into a business.
That's right.
Yeah,
for sure, man. And I mean, that's entrepreneurism at its core.
At its core, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, to be honest with you, you were built for this. The person that you are today was already written since you were a kid. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? When you of course, man. I mean, going to these studios and becoming this person, it was just like forming that, playing guitar on, with your dad.
Yeah. Dude, it's
yeah. That's like. All that stuff. It's crazy.
It all equaled out into what it is now.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I'm forever grateful.
I love it, man. I mean, even into now, man. Now, I do want to actually, before I get into like kind of what's going on right this second.
Yeah.
There's something that you touched on that I wanted to bring up, and it was balancing a lot of plates.
Yeah.
And obviously, as an independent artist, that's just what you have to do.
Yeah.
And back. A little bit before, you used to equate success with like being busy all the time.
Yeah.
But now, how would you equate success?
I would equate success by not being busy all the time. I think the opposite has changed. I think, for me, the image of like me being successful is, getting to a point to where like the only thing I can focus on is music. You know what I mean? Like, that's what being successful is to me. If I love to travel, and thankfully I'm traveling a shit ton, and I love that. And I don't think that'll ever come out of me. I think I've always been used to kind of moving a lot. So I think like moving around a lot is still a part of it. But for me, like, success equals still giving a fuck about everything as much as I do, but being able to have people around me that I fully trust to carry out everything, so that way I can just be my own little artistic self and go write about whatever I want to write about. That's what success looks like to me. When I was younger, I thought it was always being busy, and now I'm at a point where for a good 80%, 85% out of the year, I am busy.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, this is dope, but like there's so much time to be taken up by music that I think, it's cool I'm doing what I'm doing now, but like imagine if I only focused on the music and I had and I am building my team. I've got great videographers, I've got great fucking an amazing graphic designer and editor, my editor Theron, I'm building that team around me, and now that I've felt what it's like to have some weight lifted off my shoulders, I've realized like that's what success is to me. It's just I want to be able to just fuck off and like make music and send it to people who I trust and be like, put it out there. Like Frank Ocean.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like that's the goal.
Yeah, man. And I mean, the way that you're describing it is how a business becomes successful.
That part.
You know what I mean? And businesses don't become successful with one person. They become successful with teams of people that are delegated to specific tasks that they specialize in.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So it's just scaling the business of Sage X Price.
Yeah.
To a point where you can, buzzword, delegate tasks to other people, so that way you can focus on the art.
I watched a video about this thing called the octopus, and it was about how like a lot of businesses you start off like an octopus where you have 8 arms doing entirely different things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And an octopus is like
so true.
Smart enough to be able to have 8 arms doing different things. But imagine if, like, for lack of a better term, you had, an octopus doing an entire this one thing with its 8 arms.
8 arms worth of stuff.
That's but it's that analogy, because it's like, man, like, with the graphic designing and editing, I knew immediately that I was like, this is not gonna be as good unless I give it to someone where that's their whole fucking goal.
Yeah, it's their specialty.
Found Theron through Tony, and like,
nice, boom.
That shit is it's like I'm aware that I can do a lot of things myself, especially with production and engineering. I'm also self-aware enough to know that like most of the shit outside of that, it's not going to look good enough or be good enough without getting someone who what they do is that. You know what I mean? It's just, for sure. And that's where businesses get successful.
Yeah, man.
You hire somebody who's specifically good at something.
For sure. And the fact that you have kind of shifted your mindset on that, I think that shows your growth as just as like an adult.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, that's just being real with yourself and just like understanding that you can't do this all yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's something that's like, sometimes people never have that realization.
Yeah.
And they'll actually hold themselves back because they don't have the ability to do everything themselves. And they realize that they can't do everything themselves, and then they quit. And then, where burn it's like, it should be the opposite, where it's just like you get inspired, like you said, having people around you that are so good at what they do, or even if you're not like surrounded by those people, you reach out to people that are better at
all day.
You know what I mean? Like your boy there.
I've never had a fucking ego enough about myself to be like, I could do this all myself and have it be good. I will forever acknowledge that there's always going to be someone who's better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's a key thing that a lot of artists need to be upfront with themselves.
And it's tough because as an artist, you have to have this ego. But at the same time, it's like, man, relinquish that shit, bro. Because like, name one artist that was doing everything themselves.
Yeah.
That was like truly successful. This is not shitting on anybody else, but like, name an artist.
There's only a few.
There's only a few.
Yeah.
And those people are special for their own reasons.
I mean, Russ is one of those guys.
Russ is one of those people.
But it's like very few people like that.
Exactly. And I know I don't have an ego enough about myself to be like, well, I could do that. Nigga, I know I can't do all this shit myself. I can, but it's gonna not look as good.
It's not gonna be as good as it can be.
And I want, for the health of the song, for the health of the music, for the health of everything, like that's what matters the most to me.
Yeah.
It does, for the health of the art. Does it look better if you do it? Cool. That's the end of the discussion. Yep. Can you do this better than me? By all means, please do it. I'm never gonna be like, I could do this. Fuck all that, gang.
Yeah.
Like,
Can't do that.
Yeah. Like if this shit's going to pop off, it's going to pop off because of the work that all of us put into it. Not because I'm sitting here being like, well, I could save money if I just do it myself. Exactly. Like pay the $200, bro. Get the cover art. You know what I mean? Yeah. Unless you're one of those people that's really good at all this shit, because those people do exist. But
but it's again, like it's not the everyone. You know, there's only a few people like that.
That's why those people are special.
So with everything that you're doing and all the, I guess, hats that you're wearing, in a sense, sometimes, how do you find balance between everything that you're involved with?
Taking time for myself, honestly. It's the reason why I got this fucking yin and yang tattoo. Like, just to be aware of balance more.
Yes.
Yeah, I think one of my biggest faults is that I'll overdo things for the sake of like, one, for the sake of just like loyalty to whatever I'm getting done. And then two, if it's involving someone else, it's for the sake of like, so I don't feel or look like a bad person.
Yeah.
And I think now what's really helped me with the balance is like, you know, not having my door open all the time. Like when it comes to the production and engineering, like saying no to work, giving money back, like just really taking the time to be like, okay, am I going to be stressed while doing this?
Right.
Because life is going to have stressful situations. You might as well save the times where you need to be stressed for the times where you need to be stressed.
Right.
And thankfully I'm in a position, you know, financially and everything to where I can say no to stuff. And sometimes there's times where you can't. And like, I'm sure there'll be a time in a year from now where I'm like, shit, I got to say yes to this. This is a good opportunity. But just not putting in the extra effort when it's not necessary. And then also just really giving myself a day to just not talk to anybody. I'm not posting unless I fucking need to. That has helped me a lot. Like just giving myself that day, because I will workhorse myself into like a depression
for sure. So it's kind of like piggybacking off of the same thing where it's like how you define success of like is almost detaching.
Yeah.
Versus just like being super, super involved all the time, like every single day.
Exactly.
Yeah. And to be honest, like you see growth when you're away because it almost allows you to be away from it and like learn and feel like when you do come back to it, you're ready to come back to it. You have energy to come back to it.
And I've always been like that with different things. Like anything that I go hella hard on and take a break and come back, I always come back better.
Stronger, yeah.
Yeah. It's from guitar to when I was younger, like before I got good, I took a break for a little bit. Or before I was able to play fucking Hanukkah by Adam Sandler, I took a break for a little bit and then came back in and like, you know, I was 3 times better than I was. So
totally
giving myself breaks.
Yeah, even like the Sage X Price, like how you weren't really making music as like an artist, you were kind of testing the waters.
Yeah.
And then it's just like you took time to really hone in on a production.
Totally.
So that by the time you came in as an artist, it was just like you came in way leveled.
Yeah, totally.
You know,
I'm a perfectionist when it comes to that type of stuff.
Yeah.
If I can go into something having prior experience, and if I can wait till like I feel confident, then I will for sure.
Dude, that's smart. I mean, you've definitely done things like the right for being so young. Like it's crazy. Like I feel like you're so much older that you probably get that all the time.
Yeah, I do get that a lot. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course, man. No, it's awesome to be able to like kind of see things behind the curtain a little bit and to see like how you're handling everything too, man.
Thank you, bro.
Because it's going great. I mean, even to now, you're going on tour with a Buffalo Farm.
Yeah.
And you guys are doing a few shows.
Yep.
You're actually in town. You've been practicing with him for those shows.
Yeah.
So you guys kick off the first show in what city?
We're doing LA, Denver, Atlanta, and then we're doing one more I'm forgetting right now.
Okay,
but
cool.
yeah, just a cool little run.
Yep.
It'll be Buffalo Farm's first tour.
Huge.
It'll be fucking sick. I'll be pretty much DJing and hype manning for that and just like being a part of the show. And you know, that's once again balancing another plates. Like that's a fun plate to balance because like,
for sure,
dude, if I can get hype on stage with some people for a bit, like, and people end up coming to listen to my stuff later that day, that's a win-win. So
for sure. Yeah. And what's cool about that is it almost takes the pressure off because you don't have your own set.
Absolutely.
So you get to just turn up.
It's fun as fuck. Yeah, and I get to study. Like, this song this type of song did well with this type of crowd, or what were this techniques that this person did to get the crowd more engaged. Like I'd be really watching that shit and like paying attention. So for me, it's just like
it's opportunity, really.
It's a free showcase.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. And like, I mean, Tony's Buffalo Farm shit goes so hard. Dude.
Yeah.
So it's
I don't know if he wants us to say that.
I mean,
I don't know. I don't know. I was like, I don't know if he wants us to say that. But I feel like people know.
I think on the 2022 episode, we talked about
he mentioned
Buffalo
it?
Farm.
Word. Okay, cool. We're chilling. We're big chilling.
Yeah. So I believe the
worlds have collided a little bit.
Have collided. Word. If not like super publicly, like on his platforms.
But like
on his interviews and stuff. Yeah.
Totally. Well, that's good to know.
We talked about it.
Yeah, no, 2022, Tony's shit. It's weird calling him 2022.
Yeah.
Now Tony's Buffalo Farm shit goes crazy. And
insane.
It's even cooler because it's like, he took me on that tour for the Earth Boy shit. I was performing on that one. This time I'm just DJing, but like I had the test run and now I'm like, all right, even if I'm just on stage DJing and hype manning. And Tony's awesome in the sense of like when we perform, even if it's just me DJing, we perform like on stage together.
Yeah.
We are very much like a duo act in that sense.
Absolutely.
So with the Buffalo Farm shit, it's cool because like the Tony shit, it was so, Tony's music. It's very like happy and there's also some sad stuff. But the Buffalo Farm shit is just banger. Like there's no downtime at all. Yeah. So it's like, it's cool because on our other stuff, it was like we turn up for a little bit, calm down, turn up. Now it's just like, everybody off your fucking feet constantly. Yeah. So it's fun. It's cool. It's nice to like have that. It's nice to just do shit like, because I don't have any songs like that. So it's nice to just like understand how that type of shit works because I've always been a fan of that type of music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be on the stage side is cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, we're getting ready for that. It's gonna be great fucking time.
So that's one thing with Buffalo, and then 2022, and you have the song Subtle out. That is going crazy that we talked about earlier. 100K's streams in a week.
Yeah, I think it's at like 150 right now. We're like a week and a half in.
Oh,
it hasn't even. Gosh. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
It's pretty
wild.
So it's all going up from here. Yeah. You guys definitely got to go stream that song.
Please,
yes,
check it out. Music video.
If you go, I got the link here. SageXPrice.live.
Yeah. There you go, dude. SageXPrice.live. All of my shit's on there.
Yes.
Like everything that you need to find. And then me and Tony actually are gonna drop another track later this month.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I guess the last question to wrap up here is like coming up soon here. What are the things that you're most excited about? And that's kind of one of those things that you guys got a song dropping soon here.
Yeah, we have. After Subtle did so well, we were like, fuck it, we might as well drop another track. And we ain't even close to being done with the rollout for Subtle. But yeah, things I'm most excited about. Got another track with Tony dropping later this month. Yep. I have an album coming out in October. It's not like a conventional album. It's more going to be like a compilation album.
Okay.
Not a lot. All of the songs that I dropped in my first year of releasing the Sage X Prize stuff are all of like the first songs I ever wrote.
Yeah, insane.
Period.
That's crazy.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
The fact that they did all so wild is nuts.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I really, I put together this album, and it's gonna have some new stuff on there, new visuals and all that stuff. But I really wanted to, give those songs the respect that they deserve and really capitalize on the fact that like that, not only is it the first songs I ever dropped, but it was my first step into being a fucking, a singer, songwriter, and rapper. So
yeah.
I'm excited for that. I'm going to do a show in October in Austin, an album release show. Going to have Tony a part of that.
Oh,
that's going to be sick. And
nice. Is he doing a set or is he just
going to do a set? Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
So it's going to be cool, but yeah, I'm excited for that. And, I'm really excited to just take the rest of this year and create. And once I drop this album, that's going to carry me out to the rest of the year. New shit on there. I'm hell excited to show to people, but I want to hit next year hard and just
let's
go crazy. So those are the things I'm excited for. And
yeah, man, maybe we'll see you in Arizona in 2026.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's another thing I'm excited for. I'm excited to figure out where my new roots are going to be.
Yes.
And Arizona is definitely hitting That's where I think it's gonna end up. But yeah, dude, that's like all the shit I got going on. Cool, if anybody wants to come do a show, sagexprice.live, got all my show info on there. I'm always doing something, so feel free to come through. And
absolutely, man. No, man. I appreciate you sitting down and taking some time, dude.
Bro,
your story's so sick, dude.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
Man. No, you don't do many interviews, so it's just nice to have like a video platform where you can like kind of talk about everything in almost a chronological order.
Dude, no, and thank you for giving me the opportunity, because I think there's not too many people in my personal life that know where I've come from and things like that. And I'm very private about that type of stuff. And I appreciate you giving me an opportunity and a platform to do it. Cause
of course, man,
I think a lot of people know about me through my music, but when it comes to like me personally, I don't think there's a lot. I haven't had the opportunity to actually talk about it. So thank you for like letting me get my fucking story out there.
You're welcome, man. No, at one point, I mean, I feels like the camera's not even there. We're just having a conversation.
Hella natural, dude. So you run a good ship over here.
Thank you, man.
For sure. You definitely do.
Thank you so much. Well, my fellow Martians, you got to go follow Sage. It's at SageXPrice on all platforms, on social medias and all that. Yep. Go follow him on Spotify and Apple Music, of course. Go listen to the music. If you go to sagexprice.live, get the ticket links and all that stuff.
All that good shit.
Yeah, keep up with him, man. He's only going up from here. So
thank you, bro.
Appreciate you, man. My fellow Mars, to go follow at On Mars Pod, and we'll see you next time.
Follow that.
Love you,
sir. Peace.
Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in and watching this episode of the On Mars Pod, and for sticking around to the end, man. I really appreciate you guys. You are the real Martians. Like this video, comment below what your favorite part was, what was most inspiring to you. Subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications here on future interviews coming out soon, and also follow us on Instagram at On Mars Pod. Love you guys so much. We'll see you next time on Mars.
You guys still munching on that fucking pork shoulder and mac and cheese? Dude, I'm not even joking when I say this. That like was legitimately the best food I've had at a friend's party. Wow. Normally you go to like friends parties and it's like the normal shit, like just like cheese dip and shit like that. Yes. But that shit was actually really fucking good.
Yeah, dude.
Thank you. Gas. Yeah.
And shout out to Kaz for coming through with the fucking pork shoulder, because that shit was crazy,
dude.
Yeah, so it was like a perfect like July 4th meal though. The pork sandwiches.
Shit was like fattening, drunk, food, all types of. I didn't know, dude. Like I didn't know Kaz was that good.
Oh, he's nice.
Like ever. When I first met him, we were on tour, so it was like very, very quick.
Mm-hmm.
We kicked it for a couple of days, but like it was just like normal homie shit. And then when he moved out here, I started seeing his food stories, and I was like, oh shit, this guy. And then I got to know him more, and I was like, oh, this dude can like actually fucking cook. So can you, dude. Nah, for real. He was telling me about that.
No, thank you, man. No, I try to do my thing, but I think Kaz is more like a chef. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like he
like plates shit.
Yeah, he's so good at that. He has an eye for it differently. He's like a creative in that sense too.
He's meticulous.
Very meticulous, which is very good. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to that type of art, I would say. But yeah, man, I can follow instructions and cook sometimes and add certain flavor, but I'm Puerto Rican, so I grew up. My whole family cooked.
Yeah, that mac and cheese was rivaling like my uncle's, bro.
Thank you, man.
Being serious, my uncle makes like really good mac and cheese. So I'm telling you, you're on some shit.
Thanks, bro. 75 episodes in already.
25 away from. You got to celebrate for 100.
100. Yeah, I was thinking about.
You got to do something.
I was potentially. This is like literally as of the past few days, I've been thinking about this because it's gonna come. If I release one, because your episode is going to release this coming Friday.
Fire. I will make sure to promote that.
Which is perfect because we can like talk about the shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That you guys are doing with Buffalo.
Yes.
But if I release an episode every single week from now until the 100th episode, the 100th episode will drop on the 3rd of January, 2026.
Oh, shit.
So it's like the New Year.
The New Year episode. Yeah, that's like perfect
episode
time.
100.
I wonder if you could do like a.
I was thinking about doing a live episode.
That's what I was gonna say. And maybe have like some homies do like some performances.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that would be so cool. Sick. And just like maybe even talk to Zach, Futuristic.
Yeah.
And just like see if we can organize some stuff where maybe he does a little performance, maybe even do like a live interview panel situation.
Count me in if you want a performer,
dude. That would be sick. Maybe we just like bring some of the alumni of the podcast through for like a panel type interview.
That actually would be really cool,
because then it's just like everyone that would be on the panel has episodes already.
Exactly.
So it makes sense for the pod.
Yeah. No, that'd be sick. Count me in.
These are conversations we would have like halfway through the pod, and we haven't even started the pod yet.
We should save some of the comments.
Oh, that was great. Yeah, that was great though.
Right. Oh, I'm down to start whenever.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, I'm ready.
All right, let's do it.
All right, cool.
No, I'll save it.
As it's happening, I'm like, wow, this is a great conversation.
No, we'll wait. We'll cut it off.
Yeah.
Save it till halfway through. Dude.
That's so good.
Awesome episode. Nah, come here, bro.
Appreciate you, man. For real, bro.
Your questions are very insightful. That was honestly awesome to hear like how much research you did.
Thank you, man. I take it very seriously.
No, bro,
I don't take it lightly.